Is he coming? Okay. Are you going to take his place? Okay, well then I will take this away then. Okay.
Either that or teaching ESL.
Oh, English?
Yeah, I used to do that. Once upon a time, I was a teacher. Beato.
Well, let me get your key. That's all.
Yeah. I want to sing in the original.
No.
Fairy tale. Same key, right?
No, it's not.
That's the original. Fairy tale. Can we move it down a little bit? Fairy tale. And have if you're young and how far do we take it down?
Took it down a minor third.
So from a D to
From an A5 to a 5.
you know what I'm saying? The first note is a D. First note is now what? A B?
That should be it. That should be a D. Yeah, it's a B.
Yeah. We're taking down a minor third. Fairy tale. Okay, just if you're young and hope you know that song.
Huh?
Do you know that song?
I know the song, but I need music to play it.
There, no, that one.
This one? Yeah.
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 This one's just piano. This is like a piano part.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
Yeah. No, that way.
Okay.
We're going to do the first Ningu.
Okay.
Top one. Yeah. All right. So what's my intro? You want to give me a little intro? Beautiful. Fairy tales.
Yeah.
Like that. My favorite river. Nice guy.
I wrote them when I sent back the questionnaire. I wrote them a letter about, I said, this is what I don't want in a rabbi. And I said that I had played for a Cantor in Miami-Dade for 20 years. And I got to meet the behind-the-scenes rabbis. And
Very political.
not just political, but really fucked up.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Okay. No YouTube, no Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay.
you bother to check.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
And I'll come up to do announcements?
Yes.
That's not coming.
Oh, okay. You'll do announcements. Very nice. Oh, my, oh, my. So it's nice to see you all. It's nice to see you all. I've been away for a few Fridays, as you know. I went up to North Carolina. Actually, I was also in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, to see family and friends. And I came back a little bit early. I was scheduled to be away for close to a month, but I you know, with developments in our community, I just had to come back early. It wasn't quite as restful as I would have liked it. 3 days after I arrived in Raleigh, North Carolina, I saw on the TV about the collapse of a building in Surfside. And of course I thought to myself, no, that's terrible. That's horrible. Oh, and I really felt bad. But it seemed a little remote, even though, Surfside is no more than 6-7 miles from here. We don't have a lot of members down that way. Most of our members are here in Broward or Aventura. And the next day, I think it was the next day, Stuart, you called me. I think it was Thursday. the 17th of June, you called me and you informed me that Ruslan and Nicole, a wonderful, beautiful young couple for whom I officiated at their wedding on the 2nd of May, were in the building, I think on the 7th floor. And of course, and I was just devastated about that. I really, I was so, I was very, very fond of them. I'd really gotten to know them through Stuart and Allan in the few months before their wedding. Just a lovely couple. He a doctor, she a physician's assistant. And we had such fun doing the wedding. And they were going to become members of our congregation. Now, of course, in those days, those days following the collapse, we prayed for their rescue. I was in constant touch with Ruslan's family, his mother Julia and his father Alexei and his brother Isaac. It was during Shai's brunch, his goodbye brunch, that the Cantor, I wrote a special prayer for them. They asked me, what should we do? What prayer should we say? They were from the former Soviet Union. Ruslan was Azerbaijani. They really didn't know. A lot of the Jewish people from the former Soviet Union don't really know about Jewish tradition, but they want to do it. And they asked about certain prayers. I said those would not be appropriate while we are still searching for them, while there is a chance that there is life. And so I wrote a special prayer for them, and I sent it to them. And, Cantor, Manny, I think you brought them up to the bima here in front of the open ark, and we prayed with them. We prayed with them that Ruslan and Nicole would be found alive. And day after day, of course, we waited and waited and waited. It got to be, I think, day 13, and I was talking to them, and I said, we have to be ready in case we don't find them. By that time, the chances of finding them alive were practically nil. I said, even if we don't find their remains, I'm willing to do a funeral, and and then we could do. When we do find their remains, we could do a burial. And they said, well, we'll wait. Let's just wait. And I said, that makes sense. And it was last week we finally found Ruslan's remains. And it was very complicated. I was in touch with funeral directors and helping the family figure out how to transport the remains. And it was about another week. I think it was about earlier this week we finally found Nicole's remains. And the family, I was very close to the family, but I told them that I would not be available to this Sunday. And because, I just came back and I had to be here with you tonight. And but the funeral was held yesterday in New York, and so we mourn. We mourn for these people. What was remote became very close to us. We all remember where we were on 9/11. I know where I was. I remember it was a Tuesday. I remember what I was doing. I remember where I was. And for us here in South Florida, the 16th of June will be remembered. It was our little 9/11, and it is indelibly engraved in our minds and in our hearts. This Sunday is Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of the Hebrew month of Av. And it's a month during which we we commemorate the destruction of the first and the second temples in Jerusalem. The first temple in 586 BCE and the second temple in 70 CE. Well, to me, Tisha B'Av came early this year. It really did. And, sometimes I have to tell you, I have to share with you, I don't always share with you my burdens and my struggles as a rabbi. I do a lot of funerals. I do a lot of fun things and beautiful things as well. I've done many, many, many funerals over the years. Some have been tragic. Some have mostly not so tragic. People live a long time, and we have a celebration of life. But I've officiated at sad funerals, young people, suicides sometimes. COVID, I did a lot of COVID funerals this last year. But I didn't officiate at the funeral, but this was the hardest thing for me as a rabbi in my 40 years as an ordained rabbi, to have celebrated a wedding with this beautiful young couple only to be mourning for them a few weeks later. It's been the hardest thing for me in my 40 years as a rabbi. When you hurt, I hurt. When you're going through a hard time, guess what? I go through that hard time with you because I'm your rabbi and I care about you. And yes, okay, thank you. Yeah. But we'll get through this together. There's some lessons I guess we learned through all of this. I think the lesson that we learned, or one of the lessons that I'm thinking about, and I'm sure there are many lessons, is that we're all connected, aren't we? We're all connected. The Jewish people certainly are connected, but all human beings are connected in one way or another. And we should never forget that we're all connected. And the second thing that we need to remember is life is fragile. Life is fragile. And you must never take life for granted. Celebrate life, when you can. Find love when you can. Bring some healing to other people when you can. Life is fragile and we never know. And the last thing, because I know the Manisharovs are very grateful to our temple. Julia and Alexei have told me many times that they felt embraced the times they were here, and somehow we helped them get through this. The third lesson that comes to mind with all of this is we need a warm, loving embrace. We need the warm, loving embrace of community to get through the hard times. When you're going through a hard time, you need your extended community. That's how we get through this. We can't always give the answer. We can't always make it better for each other, but at least we are there for each other. We hear each other. We embrace each other, and we get each other through these times. So I just had to share that with you at the beginning. It's a little sad. Shabbat, we're supposed to be up, and we're going to make this an uplifting service. But I just had to share with you. My reflections on the tragedy that befell those wonderful people at the Champlain Tower in Surfside. Cantor, would you lead us in a nigun?
Yeah. And I hope you don't mind. I sing better standing up.
Okay.
At least I hope so. There we go. Everybody.
La, 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 la.
Ya be bum bum. Ya ba be bum bum. Ya be bum bum. Ya ba 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 ya ba 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 ya be bum bum. Ya ba be bum bum. Ya ba 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 bye ba bye ba bye. We need everybody. Come on. Ya be bum bum, ya ba be bum bum, ya be bum bum, ya ba ba, ya ba ba, ya bim bum bum, ya ba bim bum bum, ya ba 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 ba. Ya be bum bum, ya ba be bum bum, ya be bum bum, ya ba ba, ya ba, ya be bum bum, ya ba be bum bum, ya ba bum. All right, now we do it. Ready? Ya be bum bum, ya ba be bum bum, ya be bum bum, ya ba, ya ba, ya be bum bum, ya ba be bum bum, ya ba ba.
Cantor, can I do another nigun?
Sure.
Okay, you know this one. Okay, I don't know what key I'm going to be in.
Richie will pick
some
it up.
kind of A minor. I don't. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie,
Yeah.
lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Okay. Okay. Betty, where's Betty? There. Betty's birthday is this
Birthday
week.
girl.
The birthday girl. Come up and lead us in the blessing over the Sabbath candles. And that, hold on. That can be found on page 120. You can follow along. Okay, Betty. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Hannah, would you bring your dad up to do the Kiddush? Come on up. The Kiddush can be found on page 123. Very good. He's a little shy. So just take you're right over there. Okay, we rise for the Kiddush. Very good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen. Go ahead.
You're away for a few weeks.
I know. How quickly they forget. Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodesh b'yavav ratzon intin lanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila mikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim. V'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava u'ratzon yinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Time. We continue on page 128.
Okay, we'll do Hine Matov. Here we go. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Okay, we're going right down the page. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful song. How lovely today is. Shabbat Shalom. And we have Nancy Beatty playing with us for the first time in a long time. Welcome back, Nancy. We're going to hear some beautiful flute along with
La 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 la.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Page 130, Psalm 95, Lechuna Ranana. Lekuneranina, 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 Adonai. Lekuneranina, 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 Adonai. Nariya, nariya, litzor yishenu, likadma fanav betoda. Nariya, nariya, litzor yishenu, bizmirot nariya lo. Lekuneranina, 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 Adonai. Lekuneranina, 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 Adonai. Okay, let's go to page 138, Lecha Dodi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 tonight. Ay, 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 Lecha Dodi. Ay, 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 Likrat Kalam. Ay, 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 B'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 Nikah. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmianu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemu tiferet v'letehila.
We need everybody singing. Come on.
Echadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 pnei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nikablam. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor ha-bracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nekablam. Hitoreri, hitoreri. Kiva orech, umi ori. Uri, uri, shir daberi. Kavod Adonai, alaik nigla. Ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 pnei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nekablam.
And we rise and face the door.
Boi v'shalom. Ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segu.
We bend and bow.
Boi
Bend and bow again.
Boi kala. Ay, 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 lecha dodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 pnei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nekabla. Ay, 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 lekadodi. Ay, 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 likrat kalam. Ay, 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 pnei Shabbat. Ay, 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 nekablam. We continue with the Kaddish on 144. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabba. Yamadi v'rakrute v'yamlik makute. Bechayechon, uvyomechon. Uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman karvi v'imero. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam olam e'omaya. Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Tishtabach, Yitbahar, Yitromam, Yitnatseh, Ve'yitadar, Yitalev, Yitalal, Shemei Lekudesha, Le'ela min koberchata, Ve'shirata, Tush Bechata, Ve'nechemata, Damiran B'Yama B'Yimeru. Amen.
We rise for the Baruch Hu, 146.
Lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai.
We continue together on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. And we continue at the very bottom of page 150 in what we call the Chatima. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai.
I'm going to sing that.
Oh, you want to sing that?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know you wanted to
Well,
sing
a little
that.
surprise.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Okay, there's a beautiful melody written by Debbie Friedman for this prayer on 150, Ahavat Olam.
Let's be seated.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha, 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 Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shkashpeinu, u'kumenu b'siyat nesecha, b'tismak b'divrei Toratecha, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ויורק ימינו, ובהם נגר יומם ולילה. Tasir mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
And we rise
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vahed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vahed.
We continue with V'ahavta on page 154.
V'ahavta ein Adonai Elohecha b'kol avavcha v'kol nafshecha u'v'kol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'ayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtatam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kadoshim le'eloheikem ani Adonai Eloheikem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'ot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Eloheikem.
Page 159 at the top of the page, we read together, Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Micha Mocha.
Mi kamoka ba'elim Adonai, mi kamoka nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele. Malkut ekara uvanecha, pokeya yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imaloho, le'olam vahed, Adonai imaloho, le'olam vahed, mi kamoka ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamoka nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef ele, nora tehilot, osef ele.
Now, I understand we have streaming tonight, but we're not on Facebook or YouTube for some reason or another. But I just want to give a shout out. I know Sari Schulman watching, and Elaine Robin is watching.
Nice.
And Lenny and Faye are watching. And so there are lots of people watching. So that's nice. Shabbat Shalom to you who are at home. Very good. Now, let's continue with Vishamru, and I need some help. Hannah and Dallas, and what's your friend's name? What is his name? Sawyer. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have.
Sawyer.
Okay, you stand right there. Okay, ready? Okay. Okay. So you're her. Where's your crown? Oh, go get your crown.
Got to get the Queen Esther crown.
No,
Don't forget that.
She's got to have her tiara. Now we're going to do Vishamru. Okay, you ready? We're going to act out this song. You ready? Why don't you stand down there so you have some room to do it? You got to show everybody how you do it. Sure. That is your new. It's beautiful. Your
It's a
mom
new
got
dress.
That's
How about
very
that?
nice.
New dress.
Okay. See, you want to schmooze on Shabbat with your friends. Okay.
Here we go.
Stand up. There we go.
Veshamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat L'dorotam Berit Olam Veshamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot
Sawyer, look
Et
this way.
HaShabbat
Point to yourself, then to go.
L'dorotam Beini u'beinei Yisrael,
Oh,
Oti li'olam, Oti li'olam, Oti li'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat.
Okay, Hannah.
La'asot
Ready?
et HaShabbat L'dorotam
Okay, Sawyer, look this way. Make 6.
Ki sheshet yamim asa
Now you're going to
Adonai
point at the sky.
et hashamayim
And now point at the earth.
v'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat.
But on the 7th day, God rested. Make 7. That's it.
Uvayom
God
HaShiviyim
took a rest, right?
Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Veshamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat
Okay, now go back to your...
L'dorotam Berit Olam.
Okay, and we rise for the tefillah on page 106.
Rabbi, I think we're going to start with 164
We want to
tonight.
start with...
Can
You're
we?
throwing me all the nerves.
Well, you know.
Okay, 164.
Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Svatai Tiftach. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Usvi Yagid. Yafi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Svatai Tiftach. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid. Yafi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Svatai Tiftach. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Svatai Tiftach. Ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Yafi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Dekonei Akol Dezocher Chazdei Avot V'Imot Umei Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mekayem Eitim Atah Rav Le'Hoshia Morid Hatal Mekakel Chayim Bechesed Mekayem Eitim Berakamim Rabbim Somek Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Meimit Umekayem
Umatzmiach Yeshua.
Ne'emanat halakayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hametim.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chatzela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh, and we say Amen.
Amen.
And we can continue on page 177. At the bottom of the page, let's read together. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Lachana Lehodot.
Page 178. Let's sing together. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atah Melech Adon, Leko HaShalom, Ki atah Melech Adon, Leko HaShalom, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. V'tov ve'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'kol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
If you turn to page 168 and you look at the very bottom of the page, the Hebrew at the very bottom of the page, you read the words Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye, and we do, because we're a little more traditional in our congregation, we do Hametim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hametim. This was a prayer that Reformed Jews were a little bit ambivalent about, especially the Metim part, which means dead. It says, "Blessed are you, O Lord our God, who lifts up the dead, who revives the dead." And, you know, there was a belief, maybe some Jews still believe this, although some of us have different ideas of the hereafter nowadays, but there were certain people who believed in what we say Tchiyat Metim, that there would be a physical resurrection of the dead. And a lot of people said, "Nah, I don't know about that." Reformed Jews said, "Nah, maybe there's a spiritual life beyond this one, but, you know, a physical resurrection, I'm not so sure." So we said, Mechaye Hakol. You see that in earlier Reformed prayer books, which means who gives life to everything. Not gives life to the dead, but that gives life to everything. But you see, in this new Reformed prayer book, it came out a few years ago, we gave the option of Metim, the old version. We put it in parentheses. And since I've been here for 25 years almost, I've always done it that way. It's a little different because, you know, there are different ways of lifting up the dead, you know. I used this prayer yesterday at a meeting of rabbis and ministers. I've been in a rabbi ministers dialogue group, a study group for, about 8 years. And nobody's interested in converting anybody. We just get together and study. It's lovely, rabbis and ministers. And at the end of and I had not been with this group for a year because of COVID. Yesterday was the first time we got together at a church over on Flamingo Road. We had lunch together, a kosher lunch. They always make a kosher lunch when they, so for us rabbis. And I mentioned at the end of our time together, it was joyous. We studied and it was fun. And I told them that this prayer is said. There's an old custom, and I've picked up this custom about 5-6 years ago. When you haven't seen a friend for a year, if you've gone a whole year and you haven't seen a friend, you say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mechayei metim. Seeing you has lifted me up. It's revived me. It's like I've been dead without you. Now I'm alive. And I shared that with the ministers. The rabbi said, "Oh yeah," and the minister said, "That's." And I just have to tell you, now that we're getting back together, it's like we're being revived. This is a pretty good group for a summer. Our snowbirds are not here, and this is a nice group. don't you feel enlivened to be in your community? You know, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mechayei hametim. Without you, I wasn't quite as alive as I am today with you. So close your eyes for a moment or two. This is time for your own private prayers and meditations. Take a deep breath and release it.
And let's all sing together. Prayer for peace. Oseh shalom b'romav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru, imeru, amen. Oseh Shalom b'romav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, imeru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 V'yimeru, amen.
Well, we have some birthdays in our congregation. Okay. Betty Glazer, where is Betty?
Happy birthday, Betty!
There's Betty. Dr. Jim Stern. Oh, and my dear friend, Ben Leshner. Ben and Trudy are probably watching up in Parkland. Oh, Ben, we're going to see you soon. Jessica Bear. We bat mitzvah Jessica.
Oh, yeah.
Mildred Rafi. And our own Alex Levy, member of our board. Cheryl Zaporkin, fairly new member to the congregation. And Jerry Smith. Now, kids, there are some kids. Daniela Forden, Oliver Friedman, Grayson Sorrentino. We just bar mitzvahed Grayson. I still have the mask that has Grayson on it. And Jonah Reiches and Evan Dell. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everybody. Happy birthday to you. Now, I'm aware of only one anniversary that's being celebrated this week. And our neighbors, Marilyn, our neighbors, Faye Bean and Mark Kerner. Yeah, they just live a couple of doors down from us. And so, Faye and Mark, if you're watching, this is for you.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to do a nice love song. And this is also our friend Dr. Drapkin. Dr. Barbara Drapkin is sponsoring the music tonight. And she asked that we sing this song in memory of her mother. We all remember Rose Drapkin, right? Rose was incredible. She always had a smile on her face, and always said nice things. And she lifted you up just by being in her presence.
Yes.
And she lived to be 103? 100, yeah? All right, so we're going to sing this for everybody, okay?
For all the lovers out there.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams, and life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here's the best part: you have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. It's in memory of your mom, Barbara.
Okay.
We
You know Barbara? Where's Barbara?
There she is.
You know, her mother's eyesight was failing toward the end of her life. But she used to sit over there, and I'd say, "Rose, how are you?" And she'd look at me and she'd say, "How wonderful it is to see you, Rabbi." And she did see me with her heart. You know,
Okay.
She did. There was she. I don't think she could really see me, but how wonderful it is to see.
Wow.
I thought that was remarkable. Some people who were ill. I know of Karen Morris and Elaine Robin, and who else? Very good. Any other people who need a Misha Barach? A prayer for healing. Over there? Very nice. Stanley. Brent. Okay. Cantor, do you have any?
Yeah, Barbara has one. Barbara's. Our friend Phyllis.
Oh, okay.
And I have a list. Okay. We're going to say a Misha Barach for my sister in California, Esther Shome. For Marcy Kaplan, for Hudson Dome. For Lynn McGlenahan in Australia. We got a Misha Barach request for her.
So she may be watching.
Yeah, she is. They said she's going to watch.
And what city in Australia?
I don't know. Somewhere in
What's
Australia.
your name?
Lynn McGlenahan.
Lynn in Australia.
She's the cousin of
She's
Anushka.
watching. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm teaching,
Oh,
her
Lynn,
daughter.
we're thinking
and
about
we're
you.
talking.
You're in
Yeah.
America.
And there was a little baby on Facebook that, sometimes you see these things. Pray for this little baby.
Yes.
And I said, we will pray for a little girl who had open heart surgery, baby Olivia. And a friend of mine who's the rabbi down at the Cuban Hebrew congregation, Rabbi Steve Texon, who's also a great cantor. He's got COVID, believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're praying for our friend Steve. Okay, page 371. In the middle of the page, everybody. Mi shebeirach avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We rise for the Aleinu, 586.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpakot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anaknu korim, Umishtakavim umodim lifnei melech malkei hamlakim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom ha'hu Bayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
This Shabbat we observe the Yortzites of Solomon Abulafia, Joseph Bennett, Frida Breitkopf, Jacques Briefer, Abraham Brill, Abraham Cooper, Charles Doppelt, Rose Drapkin, Max Drobner, Beatrice Emmerman, Milton Friedland, Howard Gilbert, Paul Ginsberg, Andy Glazer, Henry Gotchman, Seymour Goldberg, Henry Halprin, Belle Himes, Harriet Jackman, Samuel Jacobs, Adele Kamen, Rebecca Kaufman, Todd Kessel, David Levin, Hyman Lieber, Saul London, Saul Mancuda, Jack Maskett, Benjamin Raymond, Kate Schiller, Louis Schulman, Dinah Sedley, Samuel Sherman, Meyer Simons, Ronald Stieglitz, Julius Stone, Joan Striemel, Alan Tallman, Bonnie Tischler, Joseph Turetsky, Celia Wolf, and Rose Wolf, and Wolk. And as always, we remember the 6 million. And we are presently in the Shloshim period for Florence Feinstein, Elliot Block, Diana Pardell, and Nicole and Ruslan Menazherov. The Mourner's Cottage can be found on page 598. Yitgadal
v'yitkadash merabah, Bi'alma devarach yerutei v'yamlech malchutei, B'chayekon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, B'agala v'zman kari v'imromein, Yehei Shmei Rabam Barach Leolam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitromam V'yitnasei V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Barichu Leila Min Kol Berchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechamata Da'miran V'yama V'imromein Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imromein. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen. Please be seated as our Vice President, Sharon Tannenhouse, has some announcements.
Had to find a mic that would work. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I can't tell you, I can't remember the last time there were this many people, and it is such a joy to see you all here tonight. For those of you who are at home, you have to make your own choices about what feels safe. So it's okay if you're home, but I want you to know we are keeping things as safe as we possibly can. We are sanitizing. We are fogging the rooms every night. We are self-distancing, although masks are optional for the services. We are even making sure when the kids are here, during the days, all of the common areas, we all are required to wear our masks. Feel free to stay at home till you're ready to come out, but believe me, we'll welcome you very warmly when you come back. Tonight's music and flowers and Oneg to Go are all sponsored by Dr. Barbara Drapkin in memory of her mother, and I remember your mother well too. And so this is very kind of you and wonderful. Tomorrow morning, Torah study at 9:30, followed by Shabbat morning services on Zoom. Cantor Manny is taking a well-deserved 2 weeks off from his Tuesday night class, but he'll resume on August 3rd, and I can't wait. Morning minyan on Thursday at 9 o'clock in the temple, and it's followed by bagels and coffee, and we shouldn't have any left over. Rabbi is getting a small crowd. Turn up, come out.
All right.
It's okay. Next Friday at 11 o'clock, we are having our challah back giveaway. Come along. You have to make reservation. You have to call and request that challah. But after that, you come out on Friday morning and you say hi to Rabbi Tuffs and you get a challah for Shabbat. Then, of course, at 7:30, we will have our services, just like we're having tonight. And if we're blessed, there'll be this many of you at least, maybe more. Maybe more. As I said, the masks are optional for services. We do have plenty of room for self-distancing still. I said all of that already, Sharon. Okay. We're making plans for the High Holy Days. We're resuming Oneg Shabbats. We're planning for Shabbatinis and for Shabbat dinners and for in-person meetings. So we are still monitoring the numbers. We're watching the vaccination rates. We're very fortunate here in Broward. We're doing well. So for now, we are okay. And stay home if you need to, but come back soon, please. We're continuing to accept donations to our Speckler Family Mitzvah Fund for the people affected by the building collapse in Surfside. We've now raised a total of over $2,600, and that's for the Greater Miami Jewish Federation's Emergency Assistance Fund. And call the office if you would like to contribute to that, and our next check will be going out next Monday. Our Rabbi search update. The surveys that we sent out to you, they are due back in the temple. If you haven't filled yours out, please do. This is your chance to have a voice in what we're doing. Okay, and I need you to save the date. August 22nd, everybody remember, the 22nd, 12 noon, we are having our Eat and Greet Barbecue and Fun Day. There will be good food, compliments of brotherhood. There will be great snacks because we will have popcorn and cotton candy and all other things. There will be wonderful activities for adults and for kids. There will be a DJ, and there will also be music with Cantor, Manny, and Richie because they have kindly agreed to be part of this. If you're new to TBE or you just haven't been in a while, it's open to everyone. Come, bring your friends. We want to meet you all. Remember that Trending every Thursday is the first place that you get all this information. You have to open it, you have to read it, and if you're not subscribed already, call the office. Get subscribed so that you don't miss out on anything. You've all been receiving your renewal packets, those of you who are members. You've all been receiving, the invoices. We have a very generous congregation. Money comes in all the time. Donations come into our funds. But I'll just remind those of you who might like to, we also have a tzedakah box right outside the doors into the rotunda. And anytime somebody wants to shtip a little bit in the pishka, please. And thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Sharon, you forgot one thing. We want to thank Nancy for playing with us.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness,
been a
I'm
long time.
sorry.
Been a long time.
I did it right. Nancy Beatty, and a longtime temple member and a beautiful, beautiful performer. It always graces
Yes.
us when she's
Thank
here.
you.
And I apologize.
Our
Thank you.
Chalilist. Okay.
Okay,
Final hymn.
our last final hymn tonight will be the, if you turn to page 625, Adon Olam, we're going to sing a new melody, relatively new, and this was written by Debbie Friedman, and it's the last verse of Adon Olam, and if you look at the translation in English, it's really quite something. It says, into your hands I entrust my spirit, when I sleep and when I wake, with my spirit, my body also, Adonai is with me, I shall not fear. Okay? This is a beautiful melody, even if you don't know it. It's easy to pick up, and you can sing it with me. Okay? It goes like this. Biyado hafkid ruchi behet ishan ve'yaira ve'himruki keviati Adonai li velo ira yado afkid ruchi behet ishan ve'yaira ve'imruki keviati Adonai li velo ira. Everybody. Beyado ahafkid ruchi behet ishan ve'yaira ve'imruki keviati Adonai li velo ira biyado hafkid ruchi behet ishan ve'yaira ve'imruchi keviati Adonai li velo hira.
Kumi uri kiva orech uchvod Adonai alaych zara. Arise and shine, for your day has dawned, and the light of God has shone upon you. Please join me in a motzi. Hamotzi.
Watch it with that knife.
Haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rising in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. And Agnes, don't worry. There's enough here for Richie to get it started.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Funny.
So, that reminds me.
Huh?
That reminds me of.
Ani lo shamati.
No, that reminds me of. What's it? No. The knife thing. You know, with the moil. The never by Gribnitz.
You have your customers.
There you